Well, hello, and welcome to your class. Let's just take a moment and take a deep breath because being a woman coach can be very overwhelming. Well, actually, anybody in this world can be feeling very overwhelmed because all the tasks that we have to do, things that we have to take care of, the hats that we have to wear every day, we're running around feeling like a chicken cut off his head or her head. So if you have been doing this, yep, all these piles, I want you to go ahead and throw them away because starting today, I am going to show you an easier and much organized and more time efficient way of how you can organize your coaching life. Now, I say coaching life, but it really encompasses everything around us, right? So your family, your friends, your husband, your classroom, your sessions, your clients, everything that's happening around us. How do we keep track and stay organized? That is the number one priority. And this is one of the biggest problems that I hear a lot of my clients who come to me, and even as I'm working with them to create content, this is one of the biggest challenges that people are experiencing. How do I organize in such a way that allows my creativity to actually run on the freeway so I can start creating? So I decided that this is something that really come easy for me. Organization has been one of my strengths in my everyday life. I had to stay organized. If you think about, let me just give you a little quick background about myself. I came from a background of healthcare. Now, I don't know if those of you who go and fill a prescription in CVS pharmacy or Walgreens pharmacy, you'll notice that there's a workflow. You taking the prescription, you count out the pills, put them in a box, and you go to the window and you scan everyone, all the customer who come and pick up their medication. So I am trained to have that systematic approach of doing things. When I first started my coaching business 4 years ago, I found myself initially I was thinking about where do I get my clients? How do I get more conversation? How do I find these people? Which network do I go to? Whose phone number should I be keeping and track? So all these running around and trying to figure things out, I realized on my second year in coaching business, I started to have more things that I needed to track. My website needs to be done. My social media account needs to be updated. I have a photography shoot. I have there's meeting I have to go to, network I have to go to. I start to notice that there's a lot of information that I have to track, and I'm the kind of person who love paper and pen. I don't know about you. If you love paper and pen, let me know if you're the same way. You like to write things down. But when you start writing things down, what end up happening is you have tons and piles of things that you have to sort through. And when you have to do that, we're living in our left brain. That is the brain that's doing a lot of thinking, doing a lot of doing. And you start to lose that creativity aspects of who you truly are. And when you need to create, when you need to put out content, when you need to speak to your audience, chances are you need to be somewhat tapping into the right brain so that you can be creative, you can create more compelling stuff that captures their attention. So before we get into your creativity, let's first address the left brain issue. So my background, I came from a full-time pharmacist position. I was working while growing my coaching business. So my schedule was really tight. I have to be in the hospital 3 days a week, and my shifts are 12 hours per day. So you can imagine that eats away a lot of the time that's available for me to actually go to network, to build my website, to reach out to people, to do a lot of networking events. So what I have learned that is growing your coaching business, you end up having a lot of tasks to do. And these are little tasks, including your everyday tasks. If you're a mom, there you have to pick up your kids, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Pick them up from school. You have to go do laundry. You have to travel, planning a family trip. All these becomes very difficult if you are still a paper and pen person. And sometimes you just don't have the access to that paper and pen, right? So we're like scrambling around looking for a piece of paper. Let me jot it down before I forget. So some of us actually use the notepad or the note app that comes available to you on the mobile devices. So if you use Apple, then there's a built-in note taking application. So you can actually just type a quick note, which is I'm sure you have done this in the past. And if I were to ask you right now to take out your phone and go to your notepad, note app on your iPhone, I want you to tell me how many notes that you have accumulated and how many notes you actually remember that this is where I kept it. Let me just give you a number. I just looked. I kept over thousands of notes inside my note app. And I have no clue what they were. I have no clue what I kept in there. Nowadays, with the new iOS update, you actually are able to use hashtags to look up these notes that you have created in your built-in note app. But that's still a lot of information to sort through. And if you're still doing paper and pen, then every session, every presentation that you have to do, you print out more papers. So it decreases our productivity. So today in this class, I want to share this powerful tool that I came across on my first year when I became a coach. And how this app actually got introduced to me was by someone who works as a social media manager. And he suggested that, hey, Michelle, you're doing a lot of writing, you're doing a lot of creative work. Why don't you look into Notion? Now, I'll tell you, Notion is not the only productivity tools that you will find. You're going to hear people using Trello. There's also a lot of people using Asana. There's a lot of people using Monday. All these are examples of productivity tools. The newest one is ClickUp. So you'll hear these terminology a lot and these productivity tool a lot, but you don't get to hear a whole lot about Notion, and there's a reason why. So all these productivity tools would focus on one thing. It's about helping you to stay organized on all and keeping track of all the tasks that you have to do in your business. Now, the problem with ClickUp, Trello, Monday, and also Asana is that the way that system is built in is very different. So it's allow you to collaborate with team. If you have team members, you can invite them to help you with the project. So that's say your business is big enough that you can hire on a virtual assistant or a project manager, then you can invite them to a collaboration, and they'll be able to access your Trello board. They'll be able to access your Asana, Monday, and all these productivity tools. Now, Notion was introduced to me by this social media manager who absolutely loved and adored Notion. And so just to give you a quick snapshot of what Notion is, and those of you who didn't open a free account yet, I would encourage you to take a moment after this class to open up a new account, a free new account. And what I'm going to do is at the end of the class, I will share a link to you so that you can duplicate a copy of what I'm about to show you today that will help you to increase your productivity starting today, like right this moment after the class. Okay, so what is Notion? Notion, in the very simplest term or category, it is being categorized as the productivity tool. It was started in 2015 by a Chinese guy. His name is Ivan Zhao. Ivan Zhao, Z-H-A-O. He started this productivity tool because his model is that he wants to help people to think more and not do more. Now, I'll go into a little more detail of how he's helping you to think via Notion app. So when people first started using Notion, it was very clunky, and a lot of time the application would crash, and people didn't have a lot of good experience with it. By the time in 2019, when I came across this app, my social media manager, the guy who I was talking to, he introduced this app and he said, Michelle, anything that you want me to post that you have created, put it into the Notion note, write what you need to write, have the graphic ready, and this way you can share that with me and I will be able to help you to post it. And I thought, well, okay. So, but does that mean I still have to create? Yeah. So this is the bad news for you ladies. You still have to create all the content yourself, right? But it's going to help you to keep track and create the boards, create the content so that it's in the shareable format. So Notion actually built on a what we call a block system. So if you were to imagine Lego blocks, it's pretty much like that. Okay, so you have one piece of Lego that is being built upon the next Lego piece, and then you keep building it on one page. So you can create a workspace, and the workspace actually allow you to track, to keep various different productivity that you need to do. So paperwork, documents, if you have spreadsheet, if you have database, anything that you need to keep track, any conversation that you have, any contact, phone number, website, everything, all that goes into the spreadsheet can go onto the Notion. It also allows you to share it publicly. So a lot of creator actually create these shareable links. You can go to these shareable links, and that in itself will act like a social media platform where people can have conversation with you. It can also act as a website where people can just come and check out all the links that you have on that public Notion page, and they'll be able to access all the information that you want to share with them. Notion also is great for knowledge base. Anything that has knowledge based information. Let's say you came across this amazing article that you would like to share with your client, with your audience in the future. Then where do you keep it? In the past, you're probably keeping it in the built-in Note app on your mobile device. But with Notion, you can access that link everywhere, anywhere. And there are actually these are called additional add-ons on your browser, where one click of a button you can save that copy onto your Notion board in no time. So it's a great way to track what is it that you're reading, the helpful information that you came across, and you track a whole lot of knowledge-based information for you just in one single app. You can also use it for project management system. So you can invite your team. You can invite collaboration with your client. So let's say you're working with a client and you would like to share a private client session note page, then you can create one just for your client and share that with your client. And the best thing of all, this is still free. It is still free. If you were to just have one person, which I gather you are, as you're growing your business, you're probably not at the position to hire a big team yet. So if that's the case, then this is definitely going to save you a lot of time that you need to pay extra things in order to tag on for all the services that people are having. So again, Notion provides you the shareable notes. I'll show you in a minute how I use it with my clients and how you can actually build a really powerful client management tool and that allows you to, forget about the remarkable, that notepad. Who wants to do the writing, right? Nobody wants to do the writing. Forget about the iPad and writing tool. With Notion, you'll be able to keep all the documents, all the links, and share that with your clients. All right, so we talked about Notion being work based on these Lego blocks. So each function, each sentence that you're going to see, they work by blocks. So you can add on blocks one after on top of another. That this includes any text that you have, any images that you may have, any tables, and these blocks can be rearranged. So it's a drag and drop system. So you can drag something and position to where exactly you want it, so long as you do not delete any of the things that is important. Okay, so as I'm going to do a share screen demo so that you know what I'm talking about. All right. So what can you do with this tool? You can write, you can export, you can integrate different spreadsheets. Recently, I have sent out a survey to all my email subscriber, and I integrated the form onto my Notion. So anytime anyone answer my survey, it's going to auto populate onto my Notion board. So all I have to do is just open up my Notion and all my answers will be there. It's also what else can you do? It can share, it can collaborate. You can also plan. Let's say you have a family trip coming up shortly, and you would like to plan everything about that family trip. And then you can use Notion to plan out your itinerary. You can link to your important website that you would like to visit, places that you would like to visit, food that you would like to eat. So it allows you to keep track of a lot of information with just one click of the button. It also allows you, since I'm a content creator and I love content creation, it's also great for content planning. So I'll show you the trick on how you can use the built-in calendar to actually write and create anywhere, pretty much anywhere at all time. So if you have like extra 10 minutes of your day and you just have this brilliant idea that you would like to keep it somewhere, go to your app on Notion app on your phone, and you'll be able to open it up and you'll be able to access it right there. All right. So one thing that I mentioned specifically for coaches is that it allows you to do a lot of attachment onto the Notion itself, and you can share any attachments with your client. So what I have done in the past and still doing it is that I would export a copy of the PDF, my Notion page, and on that PDF, I have all the relevant link, any worksheet that I would like to share with my clients, any documents I would like to share with my clients, all in one PDF. And it's very easy for my client to access. All the links on that PDF are clickable. So all they have to do is access the PDF and click the link, and the link will take them to the session recording. It's also going to allow them to download the worksheet that I had attached for them. Now you might say, well, Michelle, why can't I just do that in the email? You could do that in the email, but imagine how many links and how many worksheets that you have to track versus you can just have one page, easy for everybody, no hassle, no thinking involved, just take care of it. So Notion is really powerful, and a lot of creators uses this. So this is not a secret. Okay, this is not a secret. If you were to use YouTube, Notion, there's going to be tons of training information on YouTube that you can find. Now, my experience with a lot of these content creators is that they are content creator first before they became a coach. So there are certain things that you as a coach might be tracking, but they're not tracking, they're not paying attention to it. So a lot of what I have changed and created in the template that I'm going to share with you is really tailored to the need for a coach. Okay, so there are spreadsheets where you track your clients' hours, so you no longer have to look for how do I create a spreadsheet to track all these ICF hours. So the Notion will actually allow you to track all the coaching hours so that you have one place to go to, and you can just look at the documentation, look at how many hours you have accumulated. And when it is time for you to apply PCC or ACC or MCC, then you can just use that number without going to different places. All right, so we are going to take a really overview of how to set up the Notion app. So hopefully by now you have already opened a free Notion account. So if you wanted to follow along, you can follow along. I think it's easier if you want to just follow along as we go. There's going to be replays sent to you, so you can always watch a replay if you feel like you missed something from here. I'm going to share one of the account that had opened just for the demo, demo today. So what you are seeing here is a very generic page of a Notion account that I use my second email to do. Okay, so when you first open up your Notion account, free Notion account, it's at notion.so. And by the way, just a quick disclaimer, I am not affiliated with Notion. They're not paying me to do this. I just love the app and I love sharing with you guys because I think this is so powerful that every coach would love to have this type of thing. Again, I have tried Notion, I have tried Trello before. Trello to me, it looks very clunky, and there's just so many different things that you have to move around, and it works very differently. So I'll show you how you, if you are familiar with Trello, I'm going to show you how you can make it look like Trello, but not really function very differently. So when you open up the account, this is what you're going to see. It'll just take you directly to get started. Get started page, basically you can watch through all the tutorial that's currently inside your Notion. And again, these are done by Notion, so you can watch quick tutorial on different things of how to navigate. There's a video on creating a template. There's a video on the database. What does it mean to have a database? Notion works on database, meaning that anything that you create, it becomes part of information inside that data. It's a data. And if you were to think of it as a spreadsheet on a steroid, that is essentially what it is. It's a spreadsheet on a steroid. So it keeps track of a lot of information for you inside that single app. Okay, so there's a get started from Notion, but we're not going to use this today. When you have the new account, this is on your sidebar. Okay, on the sidebar, they already have a lot of different template that's built in for you. So for example, a template would be a quick note. This is where you can take down a quick note, just like you would on a note app in the mobile phone. By the way, all Notion, you can access it on desktop, you can access it on your mobile device, you can access it on your iPad, anything that would allow you to download the Notion app, you can access it, and it is being synced across all the different platforms, which means that if I were to make a change here on my desktop, it's going to be reflected on my mobile device as well when I opened it. So I could be in Costa Rica right now, and I can still access my full client notes, class notes. I can still access a lot of different links, information just in this same app. Okay, so there's some built-in template already on your sidebar. There's one that's a personal home. So basically, you can track the movie that you watch. You can track the travel plans. We talked about family trips, so you can keep track of your family trip. If you click on that, it's going to take you, let's say we're planning a Europe trip, and you can give it a status. Maybe it's still planning, so we can change it to planning. You can change it to idea. I just have this idea that next year we're going to Europe. So it's an idea, and what do I plan to do in Europe? So you can come in here and type in see, I don't know what's in Europe. See the Queen, visit the Queen, visiting the Queen in UK. So it's a document that you can type right here, right now. Okay. Let's say you would like to add some links to the Europe trip. So what you would do is you would go to the link that you would like to visit. Here is a European wax center. Maybe that's what I want to visit. So you're going to grab that link on your desktop and you're going to right click. You can paste it here. And it's going to ask you whether or not you want to create a bookmark, or do you want to embed the whole website in here. Let's create a bookmark. And you're going to see that there's a quick link for you to go to see this European Wax Center, which I have no clue what it is. All right, so that's an example of the template that already come when you open a free account. Okay, there's task list. You can use this as a task list to track things that you need to do, things that you're already doing, or things that has been done. And again, those of you who use Trello board, you probably recognize this. It looks very similar to your Trello board, but it's a lot better than the Trello board. Let's say taking figs on a walk, taking your dog on a walk, and that is already done. You can drag it and move that block to the done section. Or let's say call client X. You didn't call client X yet, so you can drag it and move it to do. So those of you who's familiar with Trello board, this is probably very familiar with for you. It looks like a Trello board, right? It's a board view, and it's going to tell you which view you're currently in. It's in a board view. Now you can add a new view that say, I would like to have a table view. So this, when you click on the add view, this option is going to show up. How would you like to see this information? So let's say I want to see it as a calendar. Let's do a calendar view. What's going to happen is you're going to see this giant calendar populating right in front of you, and it will default to today's date, as well as this year. So today is June 8th when I'm doing this class. And so you can click on this, and it's going to create a new task. Let's go here. I want a new task. It's not letting me. It's clunky. Okay, let's change this date. So I'm going to change the date to today's date so that it will show up on my calendar. Wait, oh. There we go. That's on. I was too fast. I was too fast. So you'll see call client X will come up on your calendar. So you can move this as a to-do board view like the Trello, or you can change it to as a calendar view, and you'll be able to add more tasks. So let's say today I want to live webinar. You can do a live webinar on that day. And in the particular page, so each page, right, it says open page. So each documents that you create in this database, you will be able to type more, store more information. Okay, let's say this is a new task. What is it that I need to do for my live webinar? I need to schedule the webinar. I need to write copy for the webinar, and I need to go live. And any information that you would like to keep in here, it would just be stored in this particular page. Each of this document that you see on the screen is called a page. So you can essentially create a page for anything and everything, just like your Word document. Okay, so it's going to store it here. I created a task. So I can go back to the board view, and it's going to show up here because I didn't give it a status. Let's give it a status so you show up. This is to do. Once you give it a status, it's going to show up here. And then let's say, for example, you already scheduled the webinar. You can check it off. If you already written the copy, you can check it off here. And then I'm already going live. Then here it is. You can check it off as you go. Now, once you're done, you can create a separate tab up here. just like Trello, complete. And hit done. There's going to be another status for you, and which you can drag your board, drag your card to complete. And there you go. It's information right in front of you, and that you can always access it inside that page. Okay, so I am going to leave it up to you to play around on the template that they have already given you. I'm going to show you how you can build a personal second brain just using from a page from scratch. Okay, so over here on your left hand side on the score navigation bar, you can click and add a page. So this is a blank worksheet that we're going to work with. Okay, so however you want to call it, my second brain, or how about let's call this, let's give it a very punchy name, Boss Lady Second Brain. Yeah, you like that, huh? Boss Lady Second Brain. Now, you'll notice that if I don't do anything and I just leave it as it is, there's a lot of stuff that you can start with already. You can use one of the template. Okay, you can leave it empty, which I'm going to show you do it empty, but you can also access as a template. Let's say I click on the built-in template that Notion has. You click on the template. You see on the right-hand side, the navigation bar has more template for you that you can pick and choose from. Let's say you are tracking a sales, you're tracking a client requisition or client relationship management tool. You want to be able to track the conversation that you have with the clients. Okay, then you can click using this built-in template. And what you're going to do is you're going to tell Notion, yep, I want this template. I'm going to use this one. So let's click use, and that will create a whole template of just sales client relationship management tool. Now here are some board that's already built in to show you some example, but you can always delete them. Anything that's created in here, you can always delete them. So when you highlight it, you'll see the 3 dots on the top. You can rename, delete, move to a different place, or you can do more. So if you were to click on it, this drop-down menu is going to come up. Then you can delete, you can duplicate a card, you can copy the link and share it with someone on your team or someone that you would like to share with. You can open it in a new window. So there's a lot of different functions that you can do with this. Okay, so let's say I want to delete because this is not my client and this is not the pricing I'm looking for. So I'm going to delete. And same thing with all the template that already came in. Some of the data that comes with information prior to that doesn't pertain to you, just go ahead and delete them. Okay. Now you'll see that again, this board is very much, it looks like a Trello board. So you can come in here. Let's say you're having a conversation with Sarah. All right. So we're gonna go in and type in some detail about Sarah. Sarah is interested in asking for our premium package. Let's say you're charging $5,000. Okay, Sarah wants to sign up with you for the $5,000 package. So the estimated value would be $5,000. Sarah's email at gmail.com or hotmail.com. You're going to type in there what would be a good number to reach Sarah. So here would be the number. And you can also add property. So the add property allows you to assign more information that you would like to track for that particular database. So let's say I would like to track Sarah's website. Okay, so I'm going to do URL, and I'm going to change this to website. And so when I grab a website, I would be able to type in right in here, and that's going to track Sarah's website all in one place. Now down here, there's built-in template again, right? So you can click on new customers, And this template is going to auto-populate. What is the background information for Sarah? What is the history of your interaction with Sarah? What was Sarah reaching out you for? What is her initial goal? When she filled out the client intake form, what was on that form? What's going on with that? And let's say you have a separate documentation. You have a paper documentation that you would like to attach, right? So we're going to go back to the add property again. And you can change the type to a file or media. So when you change it to a file or media, let's say here is worksheet that I would like to give to Sarah. And if you have multiple ones, you can create multiple property. Okay, each of the item here are called properties. So let's say I want to give Sarah a worksheet, and that's being stored in my computer. It's being stored in somewhere in my messy folder that's currently sitting on my desktop. I'm going to choose it, and all this is going to populate up. So let's say I'm going to attach this document. It's going to upload. And the next time when you access this piece of database, it's going to allow you to click it and download that worksheet. Now, let's say Sarah became your client, right? So Sarah was a lead. Now we want to qualify her. She got onto our discovery call. She wanted to sign up with us. Next, we're going to move her to close. I close that deal. I close this case. Okay. Let's say she became your client. Then you can use the space or create a separate data for all your client notes, all your client session notes. Okay. So you can click up here. And that drop-down menu is going to allow you to export as a PDF file, or it's going to allow you to move to a different folder or different place. Okay. Let's say I want to move it to, she became my client. I'm going to move her information to a session note. Let's put this client session notes. Okay. I'm opening up a whole new page. I want to store all my client session notes. So let's go back to the sales. Click on the three dots on the top. And then click Move To. You'll notice that these are the menus. These are the page or data that's available for me to move them to. So we have the personal home, we have the client session, we have the reading list. I'm going to move her to my client session notes. Now that card that you saw earlier that we have created on CRM, it disappeared. Where did it go? It went to our session notes. Okay, so I will show you in a moment how I created the client session notes. Okay, so now you can access same information for Sarah. You'll notice that the background information are here, but the status that we have created in the CRM, it's not here because you move all that status to a different one. So if you want to stay the same, it gets a little more complicated. I'm going to do that on another video training session, but for these purposes, just know that you can move one card to a database back to another database. Okay, so that's move Sarah back to the CRM. There you go. Sarah's information appear again. So all the information are here. Right? Just note that you can move one database to another database. All right. So what I have for you is a built-in, already put together second brain that you can grab and download to duplicate. Now I'm going to share this link when we're done here, but let me just walk you through what I have for you, right? So when you go to this link, this is what you are going to see. This is what you're going to get, okay? when you have the Notion account open already and click on the link that I give you, upper right hand corner, you're going to see the word duplicate. So I want you to go ahead and click duplicate, and it's going to duplicate into your own account. Okay, so I'm not going to, I have a lot more on my, this is my personal one. So you're going to see this exact template copying into your Notion account. And where do you find it? You're going to find it on the sidebar. So earlier, this sidebar, we have a very clean sidebar, right? Because the last one was the sales CRM. When you duplicate it, you're going to find the duplicate copy in your sidebar. So when you click on that sidebar, it's going to take you right here. I had to simplify this a lot more because the one that I use is a lot more complicated. It has a lot more built-in function, which I will share in future training videos. But in this video, I'm giving you something that is doable, something that's workable, something that you can just duplicate, copy today, and you'll be able to actually put it into practice and start using it. Okay. All right. So let's go through some of the elements that I have created for you on this template. You're going to see a quick message about why I believe that productivity is really essential for our creativity to go and run, right? So I have a quick message for you. And down here, those of you who graduated from IPAC, you know that these are our foundation principle. So I have the top 3 that I gather from our community, and I included that here for you. Now, let's say you resonated with a different foundation principle that you would like to use and choose, then you will come in here and change it. What is your favorite foundational principle? You know, I'm being put on the spot right here, and I need to come up one. I don't know. How you do one thing is how you do everything. I don't think that's a foundation principle, but that just came up for me. And then you can change the second one. Maybe you don't like, you cannot make mistake. Maybe you like progress over perfection. So however you want to interpret the foundation principle, it's your principle. It's going to be your template. So you feel free to change anything that you like, anything that will inspire you, that will motivate you. The moment in the morning when you open your Notion account, it's going to be there. It's going to be a reminder that this is how we roll. I also created a intention section for you to keep track of your daily intention. So let's say I am powerful and inspiring to get shit done. That would be my intention today. I'm going to get shit done. So you can use that space to come in here, to type it, to change it. Those of you who are new to me, just know that I am a typo queen. So if you come across typo, don't be shocked. That's just me. And you'll get used to me. Okay? You'll get used to me. Now, the next session I have for you is a to-do. Okay? So we all have lots of to-do, and this is non-specific. So what you can differentiate between your life and your business is by category. Let's say that I am going to set up a Notion account today. So I have one that's already built in when you open up the template, to give you an example. So let's say I want to set up a Notion account today, and I'm going to start today. Okay, I'm going to give it today, and the due date, a deadline would be at the end of the month. That's how and when I would like to get it done. All right. So the business, it's part of my business, right? So I'm gonna use it as a business category. Let's say I'm planning something today, something that I have to do today for family. Maybe pick up Zach or pick up Toby from vet. Okay. I can type it in, pick up Toby from vet, and that would be today. And this category would be family. Okay. And what does it do? It's due today. Include time. Okay, I want to include a time when this deadline is going to happen. So it would happen at 4 p.m. There you go. It's going to give you a date and time of when your to-do list is going to be complete. Now, again, this is going to be synced across all your mobile devices. So if you were to go to your mobile right now and look at, oh, what tasks do I have for today? What do I need to do next? Look at your app, and it's going to tell you exactly what time and when you need to do it. Okay, one of the cool things I showed you earlier is that you can create a view using calendar view. So I have already created this template that allows you to look at your calendar view. So let's say I click on calendar. This calendar is going to pop up and it's going to have these tasks already built in. Okay, so if this is done, family is done, I click on it, it will disappear. Okay, it will disappear. And where does it go? It goes into your completed task. So click on complete, it's going to show up in your complete task. Your open tasks are anything that doesn't have a check mark in there. So this template is ready to go, and you can just duplicate it and you can use it right away, and to keep track of all your tasks, right? Let's say you want more category. Maybe you are a woman with multiple different responsibility, and you would like to have one for work. Maybe there's a work responsibility that you currently have. So you can also do work. So you can add a category as work. Okay. And what if it's not family, if it's not business, and you don't want to see those status? Again, when you highlight that particular block, that particular word, you're going to see these 3 dots showing up. Click on it. It's going to allow you to delete, or if you are more called to purple, you can change it to purple. If you're more called to orange, you can change it to orange. So it's very customizable. Okay. All right. So you're a coach. So I'm going to show you something really cool about how you can track all your client session notes. So I have built in a page that just for you to track your client session notes. Okay, this is something that I use, and this is something that I share with my clients when after the session I want to send them the PDF or send them all the link. It's already built in there. So you'll notice that each line, this is a table view, right? This is a table view. I can do a list view or a calendar view. I want to keep it as a table view. Table view, let's say Sarah as our example. She's our client and she's going to come see us. Perhaps the session is next week, or I don't know, the end of the month. Then I can assign it for the next session. And I keep all these Zoom recording. Maybe we had a session yesterday and we wanted to link to the video recording. So I can copy that link from the Zoom or wherever my video is being stored, and I can click it and paste it in here. Maybe there's some worksheet I want to track with Sarah, then I can attach it in here. Topics. So the way that this page is set up is based on the ICF coach agreement. Okay, so the specific topic your client is coming in and working with you, they're asking you to help them to achieve the goal. So the topic that we're focusing on, what specific goal that we're focusing on, and why is it important? How do we measure it? And then what do we need to address? And down here, I also include a section for the session recording as well as the session Zoom link. So all these are built inside this template already. Okay, so if you have a new client and that you would like to create a session note for, let's say Anne, type in Anne and open it as a page. Now you can fill in all these information. And if you go down here, there's a template, coaching session notes. You click on that, it's going to auto-populate all the stuff that we talked about. Topic, specific, important, measurable, session recording, next session Zoom link. Okay, all these information is auto-populated, and all you have to do is come in and you fill out all the information as if you were to type it on a Google Drive or to anywhere that you currently store your document or taking notes. Okay, Very easy, takes you away from wondering where should I store this document and having the need to look for it in the future. All right. So let's say this new client worked with us for 3 hours. So coaching hours logged. Okay. Let's say it's a 1 hour session or 2 hour session. You can come in here and type in 2 hours, and you'll notice that the total amount of hours will change. So it will just automatically add up all the coaching hours that you're tracking down here. Okay, so that would be your total hours, and it's some adding all the clients from that column. What's really cool about this, and you'll probably notice that this is really how it functions as a spreadsheet, right? So spreadsheet pretty much give you that option of total how many hours that you have already worked with that particular client. So that's one way of tracking it, but having a Google Sheet and having multiple places having to look for it, it's exhausting. Now you just have one workspace that you go to, and you can access all that information just within one click, and you can access it everywhere. It saves you a lot of time, energy. So instead of working 80 hours a week, now you can probably just work for 30 hours a week because you have all the information there already. You don't have to do like all these nonsense anymore. So it just saves a lot of time and energy. Now, we talked about how you can use the built-in template for the sales CRM already, the client relationship management tool that Notion gave you, but I included it in this template so you don't have to recreate one, you don't have to rebuild one. All you have to do is just click on that particular item, and it's going to take you right into the same CRM that you saw earlier. So again, you can drag your board, move it to different places, and if they're closed, you can close, and you'll notice on the top it actually accumulate and add up all your revenues, all the money that is coming into you. Okay, it automatically adds up all the dollar values for you. All right, so that is built into the coaching tools. Now here's another cool thing I'm giving to you. Okay. The project for the boss lady. When you click on that, this particular spreadsheet, this particular page is connected to your task list. The task list that you saw earlier, where we said we have to pick up Toby from the vet. This particular task list, the project list, is connected to that list. So let's say I have a project that I want to work on landing page for business. Okay, I'm going to start Friday, and I'm going to make sure I get it done by the end of the month. Now you'll notice that there's an upper arrow that points to the task. Okay, so let's go back to the main page. Let's go back to the main page. Now you can connect the two spreadsheets together. Okay, so you can connect another spreadsheet in here. Let's say it has to do with setting up the Notion account. In order to have my website done, I need to keep track of my project. And in order to keep track of my project, I need to set up a Notion account. Now it's connected to it. So anything that changes on this particular project list, it's going to show up on your task list. So if I were to open it, here you go. Here's a project. What is that task related to? That task is related to building a landing page for my business, or going to a networking event. So if you were to type in a task in here, talk to Michelle. Talk to Michelle, and that is going to happen on Friday. And the project that I'm going to work on is creating this landing page. Okay, now it's linked together. Now, when I complete this task, it's going to drop off. It disappear. Okay, it will just disappear. So that task has been done. All right. So you have a project list that link connects the two together. Why is that important? Because we have tons and tons of projects that we want to do. And this will allow you to break down all the mini tasks, mini steps that you need to take in order to get that project done. So one spreadsheet is related and connected to the other one so that you can track your own progress, and every time that you complete a project, it will just go away and disappear. Okay. What happened when you complete this whole entire list, right? So let's say it's 2022, and what if it's December 31st in 2022, and tomorrow is 2023? We need a whole new spreadsheet. What do you do with it? All right. So remember, it's blocks, like Lego blocks. So you can drag this whole entire block. Okay. You can drag this whole entire block. And down here, I gave you a 2022 to do archive. What you're going to do is drag it and just let go, place it in there. Now you see it disappear. Where did it disappear to? It disappeared to the archive. Okay, so I can move it back. Let's say you accidentally drop it in here. You really didn't mean to drop it in here. You can right click on the 6 dots in front of it, and I'm going to move it again. I'm going to move it. Where do I want to move it to? I want to move it to the second brain task. Going to move it to the initial, which one? I think it's this one. Yeah. Let's move it back. Okay. It's going to come back here. All right. Just pretend, because I have too many different sheets in here. Where did it go? I think it went here. Yeah, it went here. All right. We're going to drag it and place it back here. Here it is. I'm going to bring it up where it belongs. Put it back where it's supposed to be. So that's how you move things around. Okay, as long as you don't delete it, you can always find it. So that's how you drag it, and let's say it is done. All right, let's move it. Here on the top, you're going to see a plus sign. When you click on the plus sign, it's going to show a default. You're going to be able to see this whole entire calendar, and you can also change it to a table view. I want table view, open task. Okay, that's going to allow you to see a whole new spreadsheet all over again. Okay, so the tab is up here, and once you click the default, it's a template that you can just duplicate. Now on the side, I included a quote. Now you can change this quote, whatever inspire, whatever your heart calls to, then you can delete and change it. So that would be a place where you can put your favorite quote, a reminder of why you do what you do. Okay. Down below is a focus area. So we have tons of lists to do, and we don't know where to begin. So what are some of the 3 top area that you would like to focus on today? That's where it goes here. So you can put in today's date. Let's say that would be the day. And today I would like to focus on myself. I would like to focus on packing. I would like to focus on cleaning. And these are the things that I want to focus on. And that's it, you're done. You're done with this, and it's tomorrow. What you can do is you can drag this and dump it into the daily focus archive. That's where you're going to find it. And you can come back here. Highlight. You're going to come back here and click on daily focus again. That's going to give you a fresh start altogether. right? The personal section is where you can track your habit, your book, budget. There's a budget tracker in here. Any important links that you would like to have easy access to, you can keep it in here. So anytime you drop a link, let's say, for example, this is vet, and they have a website that you would like to track, then you can just type in here. If you don't want it, delete it. Okay, that the 6 dot will allow you to delete. Come back here. You can write journal. You can keep a journal in here. So if I were to click on journal, you can have, again, enter a different page and different card, and their template that's already built in. Click on it. It's going to open up and allow you to write and keep track and stay in one place. Okay, so that is basically the whole entire template that I'm going to give it to you so you can duplicate a copy for yourself and you can start using it. If there's anything that you like to add, you see this plus sign, right? So click on the plus sign. It's going to allow you to add a lot more. Again, these are building blocks, so you can add more blocks as you see appropriate. Okay, let's say I want another spreadsheet that help me keeping track of my grocery, or I want a separate page. Let's do a page. I want a separate page that help me track all the grocery list. Okay, I can do that, and this will give me the option of tracking things I need to pick up. So essentially, it's like a note-taking app on your cell phone, except that it has a lot more ways for you to attach the document, share the document, organize your document, and also organize your to-dos, your massive to-do list, so that you have more time, more freedom to content create. Okay, so in our future video, I'll show you how to use the calendar view to do content creation. But I want to make sure that we address the left brain problem first, because the left brain is doing a lot of thinking, feeling overwhelmed, and feeling that coach burnout. So I want to make sure that we're addressing that issue first before we start going into the creativity aspects of our life in our coaching business. So hopefully this is helpful, and I will share the link so that you can duplicate a copy. If you have any question, let me know. Either write to me, write an email to me, or find me on Facebook and drop me a chat. Let me know what I can do to support you. But hopefully this is a great beginning for you to start organizing all these paper things that you no longer need. And let's face it, you have so many of them that you don't even know what you have in that big pile. So this will help you to organize where things are, and you can drag and attach any existing document that you have in your computer. And all you have to do is just one click, you go to that place, and it's going to allow you to find it. One of the comments that I hear Gina, one of my clients, she described Notion is her new boss. Notion is really her new boss. I introduced Notion to her, and she loves it. She's the kind of person who writes a lot, keep a lot of documents, and she has notebooks upon notebooks. And when I introduced this to her, she's like, oh my gosh, this is like my new boss. This is my boss. Essentially, it is. My feeling is that you are one person wearing many hats. And in order for you to grow your coaching business, you need to have a system, a workflow that actually allow you to have more time and actually more freedom to enjoy the time that you have, so that you're not working 80 hours a week. And that is not the intention of why you became a coach, right? Because you have this passion that you want to share the message with. And in order to grow, you have to have a foundational system that allow you to scale and grow. So how do you actually manage the little time that you have and still being able to grow? So the way that I help my client is I help them do a lot of content creation, the storytelling. I'm really good at depicting the unique story that you have, and using that as a way of reaching out to people and sharing what is what you believe in, and that will essentially get them to feel interested and attract them and wanting to start working with us. That's what I'm really good at. But what I'm keep hearing is that there is that time management issue, that stressing out, overwhelm, right? So let's take care of that first. Let's take care of the productivity first. And by doing so, you'll have more room in your brain to focus on the creativity portion. So hopefully this is helping you, and let me know if you have any question. And thank you so much for staying with me. Bye.